We earn money, save money and buy things. It is impossible to live beyond the economic cycle. What trends are dictated by world markets and how do they affect consumers? Watch it in People and Economy. Today in the program, hard work of light industry in Kazakh realities. How did nutshell penetrate into wardrobe? And also, what inspires local designers? Comfort and beauty are the main important characteristics for clothes. Today, with all the variety of styles, fabrics and manufacturers, clothes becomes the yardstick of the taste and views of its owner. That is why the everyday look is being chosen thoroughly. Environmentally friendly materials, high-tech production technologies and unique design. These are the main world textile trends. Influence on human health is also taken into account. It has long been known that synthetic fabrics are not airtight and can cause allergies. Also, the price depends on composition. For example, at one of the garment factories in Kazakhstan, the school uniform is equipped with a special copper cloth. It provides protection against electromagnetic emissions from mobile phones and other gadgets. Such clothes set with copper pockets cost from 15,000 tenge. 5 years ago, two best friends, Leila and Dursel, decided to create a common business, which will allow them seeing each other not only on holidays. Thus, a popular Kazakh fashion brand was born, which in a few moments won hearts of connoisseurs of beauty and convenience, both in Kazakhstan and abroad. It all started with the creation of waistcoats. They initially became our brand. We had a lot of them, made of different fabrics of all kinds, with colorful embroideries. We used to have the elements of exclusive handworks, and we still have them. For example, we use natural stones and beads, which actually helped us to take up our niche very quickly. Designers have opened their own sewing shop only 3 years later. Before, they used to attract specialists externally. But now there are 10 people, cutters, designers, seamstresses and embroiderers, working on fashionable collections, and the variety of manufactured goods has become much wider. We started with flowers alike. We have even counted that one such waistcoat contains about 900 petals. Imagine how hard is the work being done to create one such flower. That is why one waistcoat like this costs 35,000 tenge. According to designers, flowers are able not only to transform the outfit but also to fill it with light energy, since manual work always keeps a part of the soul of its creator. Making these flowers is actually a very laborious process. As Leila said earlier, our two girls masters do this job day and night. Flowers are made of fabric. Each petal is being separately cut, separately burned, processed and then sewn by hand. In addition to embroidery and flowers, accessibility remains the brand's business card. Girls are trying to convey their customers that a fashionable cloth from nice fabrics and of a good quality made domestically has an affordable price. We have clothes for the mass market and for something that can be called an expensive mass market. For example, when Italian fabrics and accessories are being used, the item is more expensive. Here we also have nice fabrics, but it is not Italian. We bring it from Turkey, Emirates or South Korea. Average prices start from 10,000 tenge for the mass market and from 30,000 and up to 90,000 tenge for more exclusive items.
Больше, которая у нас идет уже из итальянской ткани, премиум класса, примерно от 30 тысяч до 80-90.
Even in such a beautiful business, there are many difficulties, designers admit. All the fabrics and accessories must be imported from somewhere.
У нас же очень много в мире проходит.
There are numerous world-class fashion exhibitions, shows and other occasions which we would like to participate in. But it is madly expensive. For example, recently our colleague invited us to Canada, but the price was high, about $30,000 US.
Практически в $30 000.
In spite of this, Asel and Layla tend to continue to prowl the oceans of the fashion world. Apart from Kazakhstan, the United States, Prague, Moscow, Washington, Beijing and Dubai are already behind. Young designers are quite positive about competition of any kind.
Очень хорошо относимся к конкуренции.
We think that competition is very good. We have a lot of friends among other designers. Sometimes we even meet plagiarism, but we think it means that we are quite successful, that our works are being copied.
Пришел успех, раз нас копируют.
To date, over 1,500 light industry enterprises have been registered in Kazakhstan. However, in reality, only slightly more than a half of them are really functioning. Because of this, domestic market suffers, experts say. The share of locally made textile products does not exceed 10%, and in order to successfully develop the industry, this figure needs to be increased by at least threefold. Many developed countries, such as, for example, Japan and Korea, meet the needs of the domestic market by at least 70%. Of course, this would stimulate and give a powerful impetus to the development of light industry in general in our country, but still it is something that has not happened yet. More than 13,000 specialists are now involved in the Kazakh light industry. In addition to masters, there is a special category. Entrepreneurs have already developed their so-called ways of survival. Our company was created on October 3rd, 2014. For about 1.5 years, we were mainly focused on individual orders. But during the working process, we realized that we cannot ensure profitability enough so that we could produce a large range of products. Right now, 3 people are working here. Each of them has a colossal experience, but this, as it turned out, is not enough. It is necessary to arrange production in the appropriate conditions. We had 18 square meters and now we have 34 square meters. I'm ready to hire more employees, but there is no place to put equipment for them to meet all the sanitary norms. That's why, in order not to lose the client, our employees sometimes have to work longer, even during the days off. Entrepreneurs prefer to overcome difficulties on their own. The main task now is to raise our own production to a new level and prove that it can compete with foreign analogs both in price and quality. It is desirable for our customers to prefer our products. Why do I say so? Because products being done here are being produced by the local people. Hence, the corresponding tax revenues go to the budget of our state, unlike in the case of foreign products produced abroad. Enterprises of national importance are not left without state support. Many branch workers have modernized their production thanks to Business Roadmap 2020, Exporter 2020, and Employment 2020 development state programs. Also in 2017, the index of physical volume of production rose to 110%, which means that Kazakhstan is on the right track. The business roadmap had a very positive impact on the development of the light industry and allowed the enterprises go through a complete modernization. Especially over the last 5 years, almost all enterprises have been re-equipped with new technologies that allow the creation of competitive products.
Именно новые технологии как раз позволяют создавать конкурентоспособную продукцию.
However, a number of problems hinder the full growth of the level of domestic production. The first is undeclared import of products. Significant volumes of cheap and sometimes low-quality imports create unfair competition to local goods, forcing producers to raise prices. The second is unequal economic conditions. For example, in neighboring Kyrgyzstan, all light industry enterprises are fully exempt from taxes, while in Russia, VAT for school uniform producers has been reduced by 50%. Similar tax preferences have long been existing also in Korea, India and Belarus. Competitors who are present in our local market and sell products here, they have huge tax preferences in their own countries. The same China, for example, exporting Chinese goods to other countries. To Kazakhstan, for example, producer receives subsidies in his state, so the costs are somehow compensated.
Производитель получает субсидии в своем государстве, то есть как бы те затраты вот эти компенсируются.
In 2017, the export volume of light industry products made in Kazakhstan amounted to $250 million. Of these, 80% were made by raw materials, such as cotton, skins and wool of primary manufacture. The remaining 20% were made by finished goods, mostly cotton fabrics and bed sets. The volume of imports in turn exceeded the export volume threefold because the local industry still lacks of many elements necessary for its full functioning, such as fabrics, textile auxiliary materials, dyes and sewing equipment. The country needs to import them from the neighboring Russia and some other countries.
Ткани, например, с содержанием шерсти или такие...
Here in Kazakhstan, we do not produce woolen fabrics. For example, woolen and semi-woolen yarn is also not produced in Kazakhstan. Therefore, knitting enterprises are forced to import 100% of these products. Sewing companies, in fact, import almost 90% of other kinds of fabrics.
Также импортируют, ну, можно сказать, 90% с лишним это все виды тканей.
Turkey's light industry traditionally occupies one of the leading positions in the world market. In addition to the production of textiles, the country is successfully engaged in the industry of clothing, synthetic fibers, woolen and leather products, carpets, yarn and fabrics. Nevertheless, the large number of domestic raw materials cannot meet the needs of the industry. Light industry of Kyrgyzstan forms more than 10% of GDP. Its share in the total industrial production exceeds 16%. It employs one-third of the able-bodied population, or about 150,000 people. The garment industry is the most successful here. Ready-made clothes of Kyrgyz production are successfully sold in CIS countries, especially in Russia and Kazakhstan. According to archaeologists, emergence of clothing dates back to the ancient Stone Age. It was during the Paleolithic period when a man first began to twist plants and animal skins to put them on shoulders and hips. This is how the basic type of clothing, draping, appeared. Over time, the very form of clothing became more complicated. The panels were piled on the sides, leaving slots for the hands in the upper part of the fold and cutting out a hole for the head in the center of it. Natural materials like coconut and tortoise shells were also used as headgears. By the way, in those days, clothes not only served as a protection mean, but also had a ritual significance. Special patterns of sacral importance were applied to it. For example, multicolored checkered painting of ancient Celts transformed into a modern national pattern of Scottish fabric. In the Neolithic age, people began using footwear for the first time. It was sandals from a simple piece of animal skin wrapped around the leg. But from the 14th century AD, fashion appeared. Till modern days, France is considered to be of great importance in these terms. Since the 20th century, royal people stopped being the fashion legislators and designers gained their importance. During this period, major fashion houses of the world fame were opened. And now, as always, in the end of the program, a useful tip. Smart way to update a wardrobe, not being left without a penny in a pocket. Modern clothing not only protects from bad weather, but also serves as a reflection of the nature of the owner. In order not to spend all your money, first of all, allocate no more than 15% of monthly income for shopping, experts advise. Did you know that the most expensive piece of clothing costs $30 million? The so-called Nightingale of Kuala Lumpur for the first time was presented to the public in 2009 at one of the fashion festivals. Evening attire of burgundy color from taffeta and silk is strewn with numerous precious stones. A magnificent diamond of a pear-shaped form weighing 70 carats crowns this unique outfit. Kazakh light industry is full of prospects, experts say. The revival of former enterprises and the opening of new ones, the introduction of modern technologies, a reference to world trends and state support to private entrepreneurs will enable Kazakhstan to enter the list of leading exporters of light industry products.